team. Please welcome back to the Olympia, 7-time champion, Phil the Gift Heath. Our final competitor is your 15th winner of the title. Please welcome reigning Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our moderators, Bob Chicarillo and Sean Ray.
How we doing, everybody? I almost said how we do in Vegas, but as you can see, things have changed a little bit this year. So, how we doing, Orlando? So we got, we're going to get to all these champs in just a moment, but we got to cover a little bit of ground first, folks. This is what it's all about this weekend. The prestigious Sandow Trophy has been revised a little bit over the years, a little bit bigger, a little bit better. The names of the champions all engraved on there, Sean.
Yes, and I'm seeing that they add Brandon Curry from last
year. Yeah, I don't see Ray though. I don't see Sean Ray.
No, I got a sniff. No, so I was 2 inches away from catching one of them.
You and Dexter. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little while, but we got all the champs. These guys follow the internet, clearly. Yeah, there's social media. Well, folks, on behalf of everybody at the Olympia, I want to say welcome. It's been, needless to say, it's been a crazy year. Sean, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. I've got to give a quick shout out to Dan Solomon. Where's Dan? Dan, stand please.
All right, Dan.
Dan is your Chief Olympia Officer. And let me tell you something. It was a scramble this year. People don't really know how close this show came. Can I actually share some of this stuff, Dan? Like, I don't just kind of spout off, but is it okay? There's a lot of behind the scenes going on and a lot of scrambling. Jake Wood and his crew. Jake right down to the front. Jake, welcome to your own show. Jake Wood, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to welcome a worldwide audience. Pay-per-view, Sean. We are worldwide, buddy.
Yes, we are.
But I've got to share just for a quick moment. The changes that occurred this year, I mean, everybody knows the COVID craziness and all that stuff. Well, beginning of the year, we wind it back to the beginning of the year, and we're good. Listen, we're in Vegas. It ain't till September. This thing will be long gone by then. And then all of a sudden, it's like, not so much. And then we got to scramble a little bit. And then the venue is going to be an issue. And then and then all of a sudden, it wasn't good. All of a sudden, there was a very real possibility. Dan called me up. He's, bro, I got a bad feeling about this. You know, where we got people on the inside. I'm not liking what I'm hearing. We got to make a move. And Dan and Jake and the crew and Tamer all got together. They had to make a snap decision. About 6 weeks ago, this show was going to be gone. It was canceled. Jake wasn't going to let that happen. Jake wasn't going to let a lot of things happen this year. The prize money, biggest in history, Sean. The lineup, biggest in history, Sean. The stage that you guys are going to see, which is absolutely fun. Where's Tamer Elgindy? Where's Tamer? Your producer, Tamer Elgindy. Martine, he's in the back running stuff. Folks, wait till you see this. It's the largest. Not only did we do things right, like hey, we're just going to get the show, we're just going to put it on. No. That's not how Jake works. You're going big or you're going home, and we're gone big. Biggest stage in Olympia history on this over 300 feet of it. Wait till you guys see this stuff. phenomenal, Sean.
The stage has to match the size of this trophy right here. 56 years.
Well, listen, Dan, congratulations for all your work. Again, there was a lot of mad scrambling. I don't want to get too much into the detail. Let's just say Vegas wasn't really welcoming us with open arms. Dan had to make a snap decision. They looked around at a few places that we could have the Olympia that could accommodate such a huge venture in history and all that. 56 years in the making, Sean, was not going to go down. A lot of sporting events have canceled this year. That was never in jeopardy with Jake Wood. So, Jake, thank you for everything you do. And Dan, we are here, and it's Olympia time, brother.
You know it's Mr. Olympia time when you see Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, 4-time Mr. Olympia.
Yo, what's up, Jay?
Ambassadors and reps of the sport. We got a lot of comebacks coming up on this stage this weekend as well.
We do. We've got, listen, it's going to be an exciting weekend. I mean, we're going to get to all these athletes in just a few moments. I got to put the mandatory shout out there because the Orlando Convention Center says we do. Folks, if you can help it, please keep the masks on as much as you can all weekend, especially when you're around the hotel and the convention center. I know it's a pain. You know, we tried to muzzle on Sean, it didn't work. We tried the mask, that didn't work. We just figured, give him a microphone, let him go, you know. Sean,
We're gonna make it happen.
it's Olympia time.
Yes, it is.
We've got some champs here, folks. Now, if you notice, we've got the biggest lineup in Olympia history, so you're not seeing everybody, obviously, that's in the Olympia. We picked out some representation from each one of the classes because over the years, as you know, we've expanded, and now we've got bikini and women's physique and men's physique and classic and all these new classes that we've added. So rather than the old days, for those who have been around long enough that have been here, like Big Steve and JM, who's here for his 100th Olympia. Where's JM?
It's on record, his 41st year.
Where's JM at? Is he working?
He's probably taking backstage shots.
I'll be taking pictures. That's what he does. But
That's some kind of record, 41 years.
I knew we had some Mannion somewhere in the line. Debbie Mannion, Tyler, welcome. Sandy, you're no stranger to the Olympia. It's only the best of the best when you get here, Sean. All these athletes are fighting for best in the world, so we get the best judges in the world. Okay, and that's who we have. Oh, Cassie, hey, thanks for coming out, man. Very good to see you.
Cassie, man.
Glad you can make an Olympia. Very nice.
The last time the Olympia was here was 1991 when history was made. A young man by the name of Lee Haney, at 31 years old, walked off with his 8th standout victory.
Well, history is made to be repeated, and we've got some titles up for grabs. This is a unique year because in almost every division we've got multiple Olympians going against each other. And we're going to start that right off with a couple of gentlemen that we got right here. First word always goes to the champ, and give it up for your reigning, defending Olympia champion, Brandon Cody. Well, Brandon, you're in unfamiliar territory. For the first year, you're sitting in the position of defending champion. Great victory last year, well deserved. Had the whole family on stage. Your wife stole your check while we were on stage. She gave you the Sandow, which was nice, but that $400,000 check just boom, gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It was very Debbie Mannion. That was something you would do. No question about it. Brandon, looking very Shaft today. Very Richard
I wish
Roundtree.
Sean would take his fat ass out of the picture.
Lex Miller called him Soul Brother #1.
Soul Brother
Come on, Sean.
number.
Your
Listen,
ass is
Mr.
too
Olympia
fat,
number
man.
one.
Get
What do you
out
think
of
about
the way.
defending the title this year?
You know, it's truly a blessing, truly an honor to be able to defend the title against such great champions here today. Very excited to get this weekend started. I appreciate all the people that were able to come out and support the event, and all you guys watching on the pay-per-view. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune into pre-judging and finals because we're going to put on a hell of a show.
Well, Brandon, you took a little bit of flack last year, which I thought was very unfair because we did not have the full lineup as it was. We were missing some names, you know, some contenders. And, you know, you had to deal with some of that. You know, unfortunately, these athletes these days got to deal with social media, which is not something the past champs. Jay, I think you just kind of caught social media towards the end of your run, so you didn't have to really deal with it a whole lot. But you guys do. And I thought it was unfair that you caught some flack for, well, you know, beat a subpar lineup. Well, all the names weren't there. What did you think about that after you won? You win the title. I mean, listen, all you did is come and do what you were supposed to do. You came, you competed, you beat everybody you had to beat. You got the Sandow and the title. What did you think about that?
Well, you know, my history in bodybuilding has, you know, been one a lot of noise. You know, there's been noise always around, no matter what you accomplish, no matter what you don't accomplish. So, you know, I won. And, you know, you hear a little noise, but the fact of the matter is I won. And I'm written in the history books. So it's a blessing. I don't take it for granted. And there's nothing anybody can say or do to take that away from me.
Well, Sean, in lieu of this, I felt bad for you, Brandon. I really did. And I felt so bad that I thought to myself, you know what we got to do? We got to bring somebody back just to make Brandon feel a little bit better about the win and competing. And so we got this guy. He's new to the stage. Please welcome Phil Heath. So Brandon, just so you can feel good this year about competing, and you know you're going to try for that title. But we got 7-time Mr. Olympia looking to equal history, get number 8, put himself there on that pedestal with Ronnie Coleman and the great Lee Haney in the record books. $400,000 on the line. Phil, did you need any more motivation to come back?
How are you guys doing? I missed the hell out of you guys. Yeah. None of that was why I came back. Yeah. Essentially, I got into the sport for a reason, kind of like a lot of others that are sitting up here, and that's to, you know, have a dream, being able to accomplish that dream, and to continue to, you know, be on that path of personal excellence. And along that journey, I learned a lot. And the best thing that happened to me was actually losing in 2018. That was the best thing that happened to me. And then taking a step back, getting recovered, and then being able to really focus on the mastery of myself as a man, not just a bodybuilder. When I was able to watch the show last year, I was able to find that spark. And that was something that I thought, wow, like, that's all I needed. And then I realized that winning 7 in a row, there's only so many people that could say that, right? I mean, we already know this. But then I realized that winning 8 is just something that only 2 other men can say they've done. And I just realized that, you know, there was some unfinished business. I wanted to get back in the gym as soon as possible and to put myself in a position to be at my all-time best. And that is why I'm here, is because I truly felt that I needed that time. I needed those situations to happen and to be a living vessel to let everyone know that you can get knocked down and get back up and you come back better, not just with your muscles, but with your mind, body, and spirit. And that is why I'm here. And I'm so freaking excited. You know, I've kept everything under wraps, but I am the gift. So you know what's gonna happen come tomorrow. I'll be able to show you what's going on, because everybody's been wanting to know what's going on. And that's what I'm here to do, is to unveil that gift and to put on a great show. Everybody up here belongs here. They've all had a tremendous amount of adversity, and I will applaud each and every one of you, men and women, because training during a freaking pandemic, we all have had our share of craziness. But we're here for all the same purpose, and that's to walk away as a champion. And I'm here to walk away as an iconic figure in this sport that I love.
Now, Phil, if I'm not mistaken, I try to keep up on my homework and all, but isn't it your birthday tomorrow?
Yes.
So you'll be on stage on your birthday, looking for number 8, looking to take this guy out and everybody else that's sitting here. Now, in all fairness, because I do my homework, Sean, unlike yourself, and I put some stats together, there's not a gentleman on this stage or in the show who's ever gotten 1 point off of Phil Heath.
Dexter did, but that was like...
Yeah, we're not counting that, though. Don't worry about that.
2009.
Yeah, that's so old, we're not even going to go there, you know, but we'll get to Dexter in a minute. But you get the idea.
Absolutely.
So you're back. Title coming. You're going to put yourself up there with Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney. You taking these guys out, Phil? You're not one short for words, brother. What's coming?
Essentially, I'm just here to be at my all-time best. I don't really have to explain it very much. I've allowed myself the opportunity to be at my best. I've done that work. I've got 7 freaking Sandows in my goddamn house. And I won 8. And I've done something that no one else has ever done in the sport. I have 3 different types of Sandows. I have the original, I have the 50th, and I have that. And I look to be a Sandow collector for a long time. So yes, I put in the work. I don't really have to talk much about it. You guys know what I'm about. I'm about that life. And I'm about this life and getting it done. don't want to get too excited because I've got to save some of this shit for tomorrow night.
Well, let's get some perspective, Bob. It started back in 2005 when he was the USA champion. I believe that's when Jay Cutler kind of pointed him out to us that this guy was special. 2006. It's been 15 years since 2005. There's some debate out there. Did you lose the Mr. Olympia or did Sean Roden win the Olympia? And how did you economize that in the past 2 years?
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what I think about what happened at that time. Judges made their call. Did I like it? Hell no. I would not be the competitor I am if I was okay with it. But I had to look at myself in the mirror because one thing I have learned is that when you go outside and you start pointing fingers at people like he fucked me and excuse my language, but I'm gonna be real. Can I be real with you guys? Yeah. Okay. If I'm out there pointing fingers, he screwed me, he did this, there's 3 more pointing back at me. What can I do to get better? What can I do to be more accountable for my own actions? And is it political when you lose? Because it definitely sure ain't political when you freaking win. So don't be using those excuses.
My shoulders are political
just get fucking better. And don't get bitter. And that's what I did.
I can barely hold his phone up.
Right. Well said, Phil. I got to get to the champ here, folks.
Sorry, guys, but I can barely hold the phone. I'm shaking.
We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 Mr. Olympias that will be on stage for the first time in history competing against each other for the title. But this man won it all back in 2008. He said sometime last year, look at, I think I'm done here.
That's
I've
beautiful,
done enough.
Angelica.
I'm going out good. I want to go out on top and on the main stage, and I think it's great. Dex, what more can you say? Dexter Jackson, everybody. Dex, we've been doing this a long time, my brother, and we've had a lot of fun along the way. You've earned, I don't know, just a few titles, 29 titles. So if you were to win this Olympia, that would be number 30. I mean, listen, that's not a record where any of us are going to see broken, but talk to me about that, Dex. Talk to me about going on. If you were to win, let's just go on a hypothetical road here, right? You win, you're on top, Dexter, 2-time. Does that change anything at that point, or you go out on top?
Mic drop, baby. I'm done. No matter if I win or lose.
So if you were to win, if that name comes out and it's Dexter Jackson and the confetti comes out, you're out. Like that. I mean, listen, you can't draw that. You can't write that any better. I mean, if you could go out, I mean, listen, you're going out anyways. No matter, I don't care whether you're 10th, 6th, 1st, whatever. You've done stuff that nobody else has done, my friend. You've created records. Like I said, you got almost 29 victories. Again, we're not going to see that broken in our lifetime. This is your 20th Olympia, I believe, Dex? 21st.
21st.
21st. Dexter's competing in 3 different decades of Olympias. I mean, that's just, it's mind-blowing. I mean, Sean, you obviously were right there with Albert Beckles, I believe. You guys had the record for a little while. Your record was what, 12?
Like 13.
13. Dexter's at 21, just to give you a reference between obviously the great, Sean Ray and Albert and that whole crew. So Dex, where's the emotions going to be, man? I mean, this is it.
I'm trying to keep it together.
You can't keep it together, bro. I know you too well, bro.
Let's just move on with the question, brother.
No. Listen,
I'm telling you, man.
Listen, this guy eats, lives, and breathes bodybuilding. That's what Dexter is. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Now, he may be retiring from the stage, but he ain't retiring from bodybuilding, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
But how special is it? I mean, I know you got your family here, Dex. Where's the Jackson 5? Where we got? Bro, you talk about a special moment. Your family in attendance, your last Olympia on stage, your competitors that are also friends of yours, you guys all travel together, do appearances together, you're supposed to each other, shows, that type of thing. You can't get a bigger moment than this, bro.
We love you, man.
I've never seen such respect, Sean, from other athletes that are going against. Listen, they're competing against you. They know that these athletes have such a respect in the fans for Dexter Jackson for all your years, bro.
You know why? Because I show respect. You show respect, you get respect. I don't hear me talking about nobody and running my mouth about people. I go out, do my job, You know, if judges say, well, Dex, you need to do this, you need to do that, I respect that. That's why you hear judges saying, I can't stand Dexter, because I respect their opinion as well. And I'm like that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you show respect, and you get respect.
Now, everybody knows how long you've been around. You're 50 now, Dex, is that right?
51.
51, even better. How about this? This guy's 51 years old. He's got competitors up here literally half his age. Yeah. By the way, thanks for shaving last night. You had that old man beard going. I'm like, there's no way he's going to go on stage. Dex's like, hell no, man. I'm shaving all that shit off.
I look like Fred G. Sanford, man, with that beard.
Yeah, you did. Anybody old enough for those Sanford and Son? We got any thank you. Hey, we're over 50 people. Good God. Half the other audience going, who? Well, Dex, let's get back to the show. I mean, like I say, tomorrow you're going to be on stage, final Olympia, call-outs coming out, you're walking out there. Is it war? Is it going on, man? You're not going out meek, I know that.
Come on, man. This is my last competition.
What you bringing, big man? What kind of Dexter are we going to see?
I actually really dieted this time.
You know, I'm glad after all these years you finally decided, yeah, maybe I better do 20 minutes of cardio on Tuesday.
I actually really put in a lot of work, you know, did some different things that I'll share with you guys in the future, you know, because as you get older, you got to learn how to make adjustments to get better. That's what I've been able to do, you know, and like I say, I won't be able to teach all you guys this in the future. This is my 21st Olympia. I could have did 22nd too, but I missed one. I can probably do another 5 more if I wanted to, but there comes a time when you know in your heart when it's time to let go. And it's time, and I want to go out on top. So being up on stage tomorrow, you know, and Saturday night with these guys, it's going to be a battle because I'm going to be at my very best. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm going to be way back when I was like 2005, but you could take at least 10 years off. You know, I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm ready to get it on. You guys will see tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. Quick question. All right. So everybody follows all the social media stuff. They see all the wars and the war words. You and Sean. So who's bigger, you or Sean? I mean, taller. You know what I mean? Like
Bob taking over.
It's a lot of speculation out there.
Bob's taking over. Sean is just here to hold the microphone.
I love Sean like a brother. Okay, we've always gone back and forth doing this for many years. You know, and I just want to let you know, brother, that coming up through the ranks when I was a young kid, you were the ones that I admired. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I know we have our wars and we go back and forth. He's like the only person I'd never beat.
I remind you all.
He makes me so mad because he throws that in my face every time. He retired before I could kick his behind.
You're part of the reason I retired.
But man, I just want to tell you, there's no animosity between me and you. I love you like a brother, and
it's not true.
You know, we still gonna be boys no matter what.
Well, you beat me to the punch because that leads me to this. As far back as 1999, that's where 1998 Ronnie Coleman won his first Olympia. Your first Olympia was in 99.
Yeah.
That tells you how long he's been on that stage. Ronnie Coleman's been retired for many years.
You still had hair back then.
Back in the day. We got an issue, Bob. Shining it. But what you've accomplished on the stage, only every other bodybuilder can dream of. And that's just a fact. Like you said, Bob, we'll probably never witness what Dexter's laid down and put before us. Naturally, it's hard to look up to somebody that's coming up from behind you. My idols were like Lee Haney, Lee Labrada, the guys that were before me. But now in retirement, sitting by the pool with the cocktail up, looking at what you've done is ridiculous. I don't think it'll ever be accomplished again. Phil Heath's on the brink of history. This guy right here is on the brink of history if he finally beats Phil Heath. This guy, who's the #1 bodybuilder winning the Arnold Classic this year and a couple years ago, he's the guy to watch out for too. But what you've done will never be duplicated. And with that, I give you all my respect.
Thank you.
Thank you for the memory.
Love here at the Olympia.
Unfortunately, I couldn't have the rematch. I've been on it too long.
I can feel the love oozing from your suits. And it's excellent. But Dex, congratulations. I can't wait to see it myself and be a part of history. Give it up for Dexter Jackson, folks.
All right. going to bring us to William Bonek. From the Netherlands, William Bonek. The new giant killer. William's been quietly knocking people out and taking names. Our last year's first runner-up, our Arnold Classic champion in Australia.
I'm sorry,
and
guys.
in Ohio.
He's got his fat ass
Golden
in the
State
picture
Pro.
again.
You won several. I think you won over in Finland as well.
Yes.
You've made the rounds, very quiet like. And all the fuss is about these three gentlemen. What do you make of that? Is that motivational for you to come and upset the apple cart this year?
Definitely. You know, I let them do the fighting, you know, so I can sneak away with the trophy.
That's what little guys do. We gotta sneak in there. What do you gotta do to hold these three cats off and get the judges to pay attention to what you're bringing? Because you were right there chomping at the heels a year ago.
What do I gotta do? I think I've done enough, you know, and God's will, I can show that tomorrow and Saturday. And I know these guys, you know, they are champions, you know, all of them, you know, Phil, Brandon, Dexter, of course, you know, even Rami is a threat, you know, this is second year, you know, so, you know, I know what I'm up against, you know, and I felt it last year as well, you know, so when I heard this year, like, you know, he's coming back, this one's coming back, so I gotta step up my game, and that's what I did this year.
Back in the day, it was all about weight. The guys kind of got really big. How much do you weigh so people know what you're up against with these guys?
Actually, last year I had a little bit of accident, let me say it like that, like 5 weeks out. So last year I was just like 100 kg.
Bob, you want to do the math? 100?
Yeah,
220.
I think it's 2.5.
220.
I want him to
220, yeah.
20.
And this year?
This year, so yesterday I weighed myself in the morning and I was 106 kg.
235.
235 for you, Bob. 235.
Just ask the brother.
235.
You know better than anybody, bro.
That's a lot.
Listen, the strength of William is in his consistency. Much like yourself, I always give you props. I give you a bunch of crap, bro, but I always got to give you props. Consistency is the key. Nobody's been more consistent than William Bonek. He follows in Dexter's shoes. I got you, bro. Don't worry. I can see you. I got the side eye. Don't worry. Dexter, his whole career has been consistency. You never see this guy ever show up out of shape and out of contention. William, exactly the same. Every Olympia we see him, every Arnold, he's in shape. He always comes to play. He's always in contention. I see the judges all nodding in agreement in the front. He's always a contender, man, and that's your strength, bro. That's why you're the conqueror.
Thank you, brother.
Conqueror, the X Factor.
The X Factor.
This is also an X Factor by way of Iran, the people's champion, Hadi Shupik. Kind of like a new shadow. You know, he shows up.
I got to give a shout out, but so before we get into Hadi, congratulations for getting here. As most people know, Hadi's from Iran. Unfortunately, the U.S. doesn't have the best relations with Iran at this time, and neither did we last year. So it's a minor miracle that he was actually able to get here to compete. But Hadi Rambod, I don't know if Hadi's out here. He was a major contributor. The behind-the-scenes work Hadi does is spectacular. Without Hadi's not here this year. Okay, so big shout out to Hadi Rambod out there. But Hadi,
absolutely. I mean, both years he came in at the very last minute. Did you have a plan B if he wasn't going to be able to make it coming this year? What would plan B be?
اول خیلی خوشحالم که امسال باز در حضور جمعیت و مردم هستم و تبریک میگم که باید دکتر جکسون جا خوشحالم که فیلیپ دوباره برگشته و رقابت جوری میشه که دیگه حرف و حدیثی نباشه که خلوت بود، سبوت بود، فلان بود. خوشحالم باید اونا که هست برانزون هست دیگرون و من از کارتر که رفتم کلن تیمم درگیر ویزا بوده تا الان و خودم آقایون پارسافر مربیم آقایون رامبود کلن شبانه روز 24 ساعت روز درگیر بودیم که بتونیم ویزا آمریکا رو بگیریم و خودم رو برسونم اینجا. من واقعا این 60 روز که بیرون بودم 2 ماه کل سختی ها رو کنم با خودم هم کردم و خوشحالم که تونستم تلاش کنم خودم رو برسونم اینجا. من همیشه امید دارم به جز المپیا گفتم هیچ مسابقه دیگه شرکت نمی‌کنم. فقط سال به سال مثل المپیا.
Bob, you want to translate that?
Yeah, I got this. He says he's ready. Hey, bro, help me out here.
I got you, Bob. No worries. First and foremost, Hadi said that he wants to truly thank all the fans for being here. It's such an honor for him to be here. He wants to thank, of course, Hani Ramba, the Parsafara brothers, for doing all the behind-the-work scenes to bring him here, the IFBB, the NPC, the Mr. Olympia organization. He says that it's an absolute honor to be here sitting next to every gentleman here, as you heard him name, from William, Rami, Brandon, Phil, who am I missing, Dexter, every single one of them. He says that this year it's going to be one heck of a competition that he's happy to be here for. And he said that it was a really difficult 60 days to get himself here. And it was a lot of trials and tribulations that we didn't know until the very last minute how to move forward. And when asked the question, what was the plan B if you weren't going to be able to compete in the Mr. Olympia competition, he said, there was no plan B. I gave it all to God, and I was hoping that I would be here, and here I am.
You guys training for this show, training for this competition, the amount of sleepless nights and the amount of sacrifice you make to get here, not even knowing if you're going to come. So that's huge for him.
Listen, the stress these athletes are under, especially our friends from overseas, especially this year with all the nuttiness going on in the COVID restrictions, flight restrictions, country restrictions. You just got to tip your hat to these guys. I mean, listen, it's hard enough getting ready for a show. Most of the people that have been competitors, we've all kind of done it. That's hard. Getting ready for a pro show is a whole nother level. Getting ready for the Olympia is a whole nother, and then you pile on top the fact that you might do all this prep, get all that way, and then be denied. And it's crazy to even think about that you could, I mean, we competed for years, Sean. I can't even imagine going through the entire prep of an Olympia. And then, listen, Hadi could have got to the border. He did everything right. He had letters with the president and everybody. I mean, you could think of, Hadi made sure he had every paperwork he could possibly have, COVID tested. He could still have gotten here, and they just denied him. That's just the way it works. So thank God, that all came through, because this guy who took third place last year in his debut, People's Champ. Don't sleep on Hadi Chupan.
Yeah, I mean, representing the entire country of Iran and the People's Champ. It's incredible. Welcome back.
Well, listen, we're going to get into weights and measures today, all right? William, you were what, like 235, I think, in the pounds, give or take?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, we'll go with 235. That looks good. Without the dreads, okay?
Without the dreads, to say again.
This guy's 100 pounds heavier at 335 pounds. Give it up for Big Rami. Yeah, buddy. Rami, you're all business, man. I saw some leaked photos the other day. Luckily, in my position, I get to see some photos that kind of crept out there somehow. And you're in shape, my friend. I know you've got a team you've been working with this year.
Yeah.
You're bringing it.
First, I need to thank you for
just want to leave because my shoulder's so tight.
Mr. Danson, Mr. Steve Wemberger, to give me this opportunity to be here in this stage again. I know it's hard, and everyone what has happened, and they gave me that invitation to be here, and I'm really thankful for that, because I working very hard to be here this year. The situation is very hard for me this year. I do Arnold Classic, I try to go Australia, I try to go Arnold, Europe Pro. So many things happen, but I'm here. Thank you, God. Thank you for everyone helping me to be here in this stage. And
Robbie, I gotta ask, okay? You got a full lineup here.
Yeah.
You got the champ coming back, Mr. Olympia. Sure. You got another Mr. Olympia on the other side of you. You got another Mr. Olympia right here who's the current champ. You got William and there's a lot of competitors, and a few we haven't even mentioned that are all competing. Your name has been around for the last 5 years, 6 years as a contender. If Big Rami shows up in shape, look out. He's got the proportions, he's a big man, he's got the small waist. What is going to be different this year? Can you take the title?
Okay, I'm always asking the judge after the show what I need to do. Sometimes I'm stupid, I'm not doing what he said. But I try this year to bring everything in point. I'm working very hard with Mr. Chad and Dennis James.
Talking about Chad Nichols and Dennis James.
Yeah. And I try to bring, I working very, very hard for that. It's not for me now. Maybe when I start bodybuilding, I try to be number one because Rami needs to be number one. It's not about that right now. It's about my fans. I have a fans in my pack from all the world, especially from the Middle East. He needs to see one from them. He brings the package there, and I try to do that.
Well, we got judges. Tyler, what's he got to do to win this weekend? He knows. Okay, good answer. You've learned from the best, clearly. Who's that contender down there, Sean? I see somebody that doesn't look like the regular part of the crew.
This guy right here?
No, not him. Down more.
This girl over here?
Yeah.
Well, she's only got a bunch of Sandows as well.
Clearly, you're not in the Mr. Olympia. You're in the wrong table. You don't want.
to be down here with all the big
Listen, just stay away from him. It'll eat you alive. Trust me. Just.
I can probably eat them under the table. Promise you.
Yeah, you might. I don't know.
What's your name, Bob? Just a little bit. This is a little bit right here. Sit yelling, everybody.
3-time Olympia champion.
And how do we make that 4? What did you have to do in order to get the 4th one? What do you
Guys, my shoulder is on fire. Both of them.
Season coming back to the Olympia.
So I think
if I start shaking, just please don't get mad at me.
15 years now, and I've done at least 2 shows every single year for 15 years. So this is the first time that I've actually had a break away from the stage. Now, it wasn't intentional, no, but thanks to COVID, it actually gave me more time to rest, get my food extremely high, train, and then really just hone in on the things that we wanted to create with my coach and really just create something new, something different, and bring something different to the stage, continue to improve and show my love for the sport, show my appreciation for the sport, and continue to inspire people and show, like, just because you get a standout, just because you have a championship, that doesn't mean anything. You have to continue to work, continue to keep your foot on your own neck. Don't worry about anybody else, and keep pushing to make sure that you're your best at all times. Because the second you take your foot off your neck.
So does that mean you got more conditioned, you got a little bit bigger, you got a little softer? What do you do from one year to the next?
So for me, I don't really talk about the changes. I just show up in silence. And I pop up and just show what I've been working on. So I think everybody will see what I've been working on for this past almost year and a half come tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to ask this question on your behalf because there's going to be a big disparity in this. A lot of people want to know, how small is your waist? Do you know how small your waist is?
I will say it is smaller than last year, smaller than it's ever been before.
A lot smaller than Bob's.
I would hope.
I would say it's like 18 inches.
Listen, if her waist is my waist on stage tomorrow, we got a new champion up here.
I'm trying to tell you exactly.
All right?
That'd be really unfortunate.
We got a statistician here.
JM, of course.
For 41 years. So one of the statistics is if you happen to win, you will tie Nicole Wilkins.
Yeah.
Just had a baby, right? Yeah, and Devonna's won it 3 consecutive years. So if you win, you actually will be
the first in history to win.
So there's history being made in different fronts here, Bob.
Well, listen, I said at the top of the show, we've got one of the best Olympias of all time because we've got multiple Olympia winners competing against each other, including this young lady, who's Miss Latoria Watts. What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. You ready?
I'm so ready.
You
Hello,
look
Orlando.
Ready. You look ready? Sydney's down there talking. I know you can't hear a lot, the speaker. She's talking mad smack about you.
Sydney, what's up?
Oh, yeah.
Her waist is smaller.
It's Sean. He inspires us in these people, but...
She said she had a smaller waist.
Listen, Olympians facing against each other, you're back for the title.
Yes.
You're not messing around. Now, I know you've had... well, tell you what, you tell the people. I mean, you've kind of gone back and forth the last few years. I know you've had some issues and some obstacles that you need to overcome. So people kind of went, what happened to Latoria? Where's Latoria?
Yeah.
Where's Latoria been?
Well, 2018, as I had mentioned before, I had to step away for surgery that I needed to have. And that just gave my body rest, gave myself time to improve. And I came back in 2019 and I felt like I brought the best package that I could bring. But there's always work to do. And I wanted to improve that. So having Sydney at the top and having her have her 3 titles, she's continuing to push me to bring the best of Zeke.
Guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because I can't hold this phone.
I mean, it's got to give some great incentive.
I might
You got
come
a
back to
three-time Olympian,
give me a
and
couple,
you're
give
no
me a
stranger
couple
to
of
the
minutes
Olympian
of break.
stage yourself with a few titles. It's like a rubber match here, huh?